All right, guys, today's episode's easy. Best sets to invest in Pokemon X and Y.
Let's go. Okay. All right.
All right, guys, today, like I said, we're going to be looking at X and Y. When I was preparing for this episode, it seemed like it was going to be a slam dunk. But man, it's not easier said than done. All right, guys, also stick around to the end of the episode for today's pro tip of the day. We're basing our findings off of card values, and we're using a threshold of cards that are worth over $20. So that's what we're doing, and that's how we're looking at it. The third best set right now in X and Y is going to be Phantom Forces. So when I was doing this research, guys, there was some super interesting dichotomies that were happening between sets. X and Y is probably one of the most neglected sets right now as far as contemporary goes. And I really think it's going to have its day in the sun, and it's just not today. And something to keep in mind also when you're looking at these values, guys, they're based off of last sold on eBay. Since X and Y is definitely older, I mean, we're talking about, you know, cards that could be from 2015. I mean, that's what we're talking about. The values are based off of last solds, and those values can range and differ because the condition can vary between card to card. So like what I mean by that is a much more minty card is going to sell for more. So just keep that in mind. I tried my best. I want to give you guys hard data and, you know, real facts when it comes to my findings. So one thing that's cool about Phantom Forces, it doesn't have a very big upper class, right? It's all going to be Gengar. Everything is Gengar. So these are the top 4 cards, only 3 of which are over $20. You have the secret rare, right? Which is, in my opinion, it could be worth a little bit more, but that goes along with condition. So we're just going to leave it there. And then you have this full art Gengar, which is literally one of my favorite cards. And if you didn't notice already, we're huge Gengar fans here in the vault. This card is sick. I love this card. It's selling loose right now for $41. It is one of my favorite artworks on the planet. What will literally knock your socks off is that it is going for $1,000 in a PSA 10. Something to note. This artwork, though, guys, is just, it's gorgeous. It has a gold outline. It looks like some, you know, alternate universe in the back. It kind of reminds me, if you guys are familiar with Dragon Ball Z and the Janemba, whatever that guy is. And, you know, I'm getting way off track here. But for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It kind of has that feel about it. Anyway, moving on. I'm going off the rails here on this one. One thing that's cool about Phantom Forces, it has the most expensive card loose in this set, okay? And that is the Dialga EX, which is that, like, chrome card. This is selling for $109 loose, and then TCG has it at $151. From what I was looking at, this is selling for the most when it comes loose. Now, there's a secret rare in another set that we're going to talk about that I think is competing, but the reason why they're being sold so much, so it comes back to that quality, you know, the condition of the card type of thing, but we'll get to that. This Dialga, though, is selling for $1,100 in a PSA 10. It's a sick artwork. It's a sick card in person. Nothing more can be said about this. This picture doesn't do it justice whatsoever. Go look it up if you haven't. Number 2 set in X and Y, guys, Flashfire. So if you know me at all, guys, you know I'm an incredibly huge fan of Flashfire. This was that card that I was alluding to in the previous set during Phantom Forces. There's a secret rare, which is this guy right here, and it does have a regular EX, but the difference between the two is this one has gold bordering. We won't get too far into that because that's just a kind of an aesthetic type of difference. This card, I truly believe, is selling for more loose. And what gives that away is TCG has it at $169. eBay has it at last sold for $49. That is definitely a condition issue. So that's something to take note of when you're looking at this stuff, guys. You always, when you're doing your card values and what sets you want to invest in, whether you want to go into some sealed stuff, always doing your homework, making educated decisions. Always look at the card based on TCG's price versus eBay. That'll give you a good idea on if this is being sold at a lower condition, and that's where there's the huge discrepancy between the prices. So just keep that in mind. And then another thing, guys, PSA 10 on this is $2K. PSA 10 on this card is last sold for $2,000, and holy crap, this is definitely a chase card for me in PSA 10. I have the card loose. I pulled one myself, believe it or not. Came back a PSA 8. I was devastated. That was back in the day. But yeah, we'll move on from this. So number one card supposedly is this secret rare of the different Mega Charizard. I truly believe that is a fallacy. And there's so many things that'll tell you what that is, you know, why. Like the PSA 10 is obviously much less. TCG has it for much less. When it comes to this particular site that I use, which is Pokedata, sometimes you have to really look through the weeds to find the truth. Like even this full art will likely sell for more, is my guess, in a PSA 10. I haven't checked, but yeah, okay, there you go, $17.50 in a PSA 10. So always be doing your homework, guys. Always be checking. This set is showing to have 4 cards over the $20 threshold, but like this card right here could definitely be going for more, which is just the Mega Charizard EX. Same thing with this Lysander in a full art. Depends on condition. I actually pulled this card. I was super stoked about that. I used to open up a lot of Flashfire back in the day, guys, when it was reasonable. Something to consider. Always do your homework, like I said, and check card values versus TCG. Even though Pokedata might not get it right every single time, they will definitely have TCG's price up there, which is incredibly helpful, so you can make your own decision and check the two out. All right, according to card values, the most investable set apparently right now is Ancient Origins. So this might surprise a lot of you guys. Now, we're doing our homework based off of card values. I'm going to say something. Even though we do look at cards that are over $20, which this set has 5 of, I'm just going to say personally, I think the most investable set, and the set that I see the biggest future with in XY, is going to be something like Flashfire or Evolutions, and I'll tell you why. Number one, Flashfire has Charizard in it, which I know some people feel jaded about that. Everyone's always chasing the Charizard, but you have to you have to put your money with your strongest horse, right? That's just a fact. So that's something to consider. Also, Evolutions is another one. Evolutions is so unique compared to every other set on in the planet when it comes to Pokemon, because the chase card, although that set doesn't have huge banger value chase cards, the one that you're looking for is the regular Holo Charizard. It has a very low pop in a PSA 10, so that's going to be worth something later on. I like that they did that. They're very, very picky and choosy and scrutinizing on that card. You can't weigh that set. You almost would be looking for lighter packs, or however it is that you weigh, because I don't weigh packs, but whatever people are looking to do when they weigh packs, you can't do that with Evolutions, because the banger card is not a full art, nor is it one of these big cards with all this artwork. It's a basic card with just a regular holo. So that's something to consider. Now, back to Ancient Origins. Ancient Origins is an absolutely cracked set. There's no denying that. I think out of everything that I'm looking at, the 2 cards that I'm looking at in this set is number one, this Lugia, which sells loose for $44. I think it should be valued a little bit higher, but who the hell am I? This thing is selling for $650 in a PSA 10. That's great. I think this is the second best card in the set. Values won't tell you that, obviously, because these are harder to hit. They're secret rares. But this Mega Rayquaza, guys, is an absolute slayer. I love this card. It's TCG has it at 89, eBay last sold at 64. PSA 10 is nearing $700. I think there's an exploitative purchase here when it comes to these cards. I love seeing XY in the dumps, because what I'm doing right now currently is I'm scooping up as many PSA 10s as I can. It goes back to investability, what you're looking for, rarity, look at population report, look at the set in general, make an educated decision, and take action, and take a position on an investment if you're serious about this. That's what I do. Those are the key tips, guys. I truly hope that makes sense. Today's pro tip of the day, guys, is understand loose card value versus PSA 10. And then that's how you can make a really good decision. What do I mean by that? If you're looking for the best bang for your buck, is to possibly buy mint copies of certain cards that are selling for very cheap loose, okay? A good example is the Gengar out of Phantom Forces, the full art that I talked about. You can find that card in a mint condition for $40. If you can send it into PSA and somehow strike a 10 on that card, and you have to do some hard work, but it's a big payoff. There's value at the end of that tunnel. You saw what the PSA 10 was selling for. Say it gets to $1,000, $2,000. You're making 20x, 30x your investment. That is huge dividends, guys. So that is the pro tip. Understand loose card value versus PSA 10 value and how you can take positions on loose cards and turn them into gold with grading them, with some grading service. It doesn't have to be PSA, it could be CGC, whatever you're into. Understand that dichotomy and make a decision on it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, definitely hit the buttons, hit the like, it helps the video, hit the bells for notifications. I will see you on the next live or the next episode. Peace. Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's time to hit the button already. Do it now. What do you think, I'm dancing for free here?